Hi, my name is Ishmael and today we're going to be talking about failure. Yes, failure. The thing about failure is that most people don't like to fail. Most people hate failure. Most people are scared of failure. Most people in the personal growth industry who are training as personal growth trainers and helpers and mentors and coaches talk about this a lot. Failure. People are afraid of failing. Now, it is true, some people are afraid of failing, some people just overanalyze failure, and some people just believe they're going to fail and they're not afraid of it, but they don't like the consequences of failing. So there's different stages of failure and why you're scared to do something or why you don't want to fail. So, what should you be doing? Well, where does it come from first off? It comes from being in school. If you went to school, which I fortunately didn't, although I went to college, so I did have a school background and I did educate in home education, but if you went to school, what they teach you in school is you go to school and you've got exams, you've got paperwork, you've got tests, you've got weekly things, and if you fail to do those things, they call you a failure. They make sure in most schools, as far as I know, every school in England, if you do not pass something with a certain grade, you've got different grading mechanisms. And at the very bottom, the worst grade you can get is fail. Now, I don't believe that's right. In America, there's a school, I can't remember what state it is in, but there's a school in America where they do not have such a grade as failure. They have a grade as ungraded. This doesn't mean you fail. Now, psychologically, it makes a massive difference. But on paper it means the same thing. But psychologically, when you tell someone failed, it means they did not achieve what they were set out to do. They did not achieve a standard which is recognised. They did not achieve anything in life. So they're a failure, they're useless, they are not capable of anything. And once you start putting a label on it, it is so. It has been proven throughout a long period of research that various people have actually done with so-called learning disabled, I'm not sure what the official name for them is, but people who have learning difficulties or learning different ways, as I like to call it. I'm one of them. I am classed as having dyslexia, but I don't call that a failure. But if I was called a failure because of my dyslexia and I failed English because I couldn't do the reading and writing properly and I failed, then I would have had a label as being a failure. And if I had a label as being a failure, then I would be told, you're bad, you're a failure, you're useless. And that would be going through my mind. Whether people have told me that or not, it doesn't matter. But what happens in your head is when someone calls you a failure, you keep thinking, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. I'm going to fail at this, I'm going to fail at that, I'm going to fail at this. And you don't get very far. So how do you deal with this? Well, first off, you can deal with it by not having a go at other people. So you're not putting that into other people's minds. Secondly, you can deal with yourself. Now, how do you deal with yourself? Well, rather than thinking about what will happen if you fail, how you're going to fail, how you can overcome failure, don't worry about failure. Failure is good. Failure is amazing. Everyone should fail. And everyone needs to fail. Because how do humans learn? They learn from their mistakes. Yes, learning from other people's mistakes is good, but we don't learn as quickly. We learn best by teaching, second best by doing, and third best by acting as if we are doing. So if you want to learn quickly, you teach, but if you're not at a confident level of teaching, what you do is you practice. So how do you practice? You practice by failing. You fail forward, as I like to say. What happens? There's a trip rope, you fall over, what do? You get back up or you stay on the floor? You get back up, you carry on walking. What does a child do? Think about it. The person who fails the most in life is you as a child. As a baby, before you learn to walk, you are a massive failure. Why? Because babies, what do best? They stand up, they fall over, they fail to walk. If they gave up, what would they do? They'd never learn to walk. So what do? They get back up and they go, I can do this. And they fall over again. And what do? They get back up and they carry on. They fall over again. And they keep getting back up. They keep brushing themselves off, shaking that failure off, and keep trying. And eventually they'll take 1, 2 steps and they'll fall over again. Do they give up now because they got some success and then failed? No. They carry on going. They just keep getting back up, they keep walking, and they keep going. And eventually they learn to walk. And then after that they learn to run. And then they are highly successful at walking and running. Now, if we do what they do and we copy ourselves or our children or babies in life as adults, we will get so much further. Because what you do is you fail forward. You fail, but you're further ahead. If you're trying to get to an end race and you keep falling over, as long as you keep falling over in the direction of the finish line, you will get there. Why? Because when you get back up, you're 1 step closer. You take 1 step, you fall over, it doesn't matter. Why? Because when you get back up, you're 1 step closer. What does that mean? It means that failing forward is a great way of succeeding. Eventually, you'll see those trip lines. Eventually, you will go, why did I trip over all the ones behind me? It doesn't really matter. Let's have a look. There's more in front of me. Let's step over that one. Let's step over that one. Let's go around that tripwire. And you fail forward. Eventually, you will stop failing and you will just start succeeding. And the little failures that you will most certainly have in life, because there's no way you do not fail in life. If you don't fail, you're not learning. If you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not becoming a better you. So you want to keep failing, and as you get more successful, the failures will not look as failures anymore. They'll look at small mistakes, they'll look at learning things, they'll look at ways you'll look back and you'll go, that was a great thing that I learned from that failure, because now I won't do it again, I won't make the mistake on a bigger scale, and I won't cause any bigger problems. So you'll fail forward, you'll be highly successful, and you'll keep going. So what do you need to do to go forward? Keep failing. Keep subscribing, keep watching these videos, and I'll see you on the next one.